Okay, so after we've cleaned all of the pipettes, it is now time to calibrate them. So calibrating the pipettes basically just means checking to see if the pipette is giving us the amount that it says that we should be getting. And if it varies from that value, we'll just need to adjust the pipette so that it will give us the proper amount, and just to ensure that we are getting accurate measurements with our pipettes here on campus. So for this step, we will need a beaker full of distilled water right here, a 100 milliliter volumetric flask, an analytical balance right here, and we will zero it. We need our pipettes, the tools to calibrate the pipettes, and then lastly we'll need some pipette tips as well. So first, what we do is we take our pipette and we set it to 100. So we set it to 100, and for the P1000, what we're going to do is we're going to put a tip on, we are going to draw up some water, and we will be measuring it on the analytical balance here. Make sure we get all of the water into the volumetric flask. Okay, so the reading here says it's 1.001. I previously calibrated this one, and that is a good range. So on a setting of 100 on the P1000, we should expect there to be 1 gram of water inside of the flask. And our measurement here says we have 1.001 grams. So that is within the acceptable range of standard deviation. So it should be from 0.995 to 1.004. So this is within the range, so we're just going to test it another couple times just to make sure we have repeatable and accurate results. Zero it, and then place the water into the volumetric flask. Okay, that's a little weird number there, so we'll just keep testing it. .001. And all of those were within the range. Perfect. So this one's good. Place it to the side. We will test it with I'm going to do an example of a P20 for you as well. So get rid of that tip. You don't really have to be sterile in this procedure because it's just water. You're not dealing with anything. Okay, so our P20, make sure we set it to 100. This one was previously calibrated too, so it should give us what we want. So we're going to look, so the P20 should give us a 0.010 grams when we put our water into the flask. .01 grams. And it's also really important to have good pipetting technique here, because even the slightest mistake can alter your readings here. So just make sure you're being really accurate and careful with your pipetting. .010. Good. We'll do it a few more times just to make sure it's repeatable. .010. 0.009. That's in good range. And 0.009. So it's given us good results. So this one is uncalibrated, and this is just going to do a P200, so I'm not going to show you how to calibrate one that is out of whack, if you will. Tips. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop some water. We should expect to see 0.1 grams when we put this water in there. But we see that we're getting 0.084. That means we're getting a not very accurate reading or amount from our pipette. So it's giving us a different volume than what we want, which is not good. So we're just going to test it again just to see if that was just an outlier or something. And then we see that it is giving us a low number. So what we have to do here is we have to remove the thumb piece here. In the previous video, you just pull really hard on this thing until it comes off. And here's where the calibration comes into place. We take our calibration device. For the Biorad, you will see these gray ones here. And all of them should work, but I'm just going to choose this one. And you will place it over this metal thing here in the middle. And you'll put it down, and you'll just twist it until it finds its grooves, and it should lock into place. So the next part that we have to do is we have to pinch here on the black thing, and to calibrate it, we will twist our calibration tool on the top. So I believe that twisting it left will increase, so counterclockwise will increase the volume, whereas turning it clockwise will decrease the volume. So currently we're getting less than we should, so I'm going to increase the volume on our pipette while keeping it at 100. So that's the point of holding the pipette here at the black piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist it clockwise, and from here it's just some trial and error. So you just twist until you think it's pretty good. Make sure you're still at 100. Put your cap back on and drop some water here. And we're going to test to see where we're at. So we'll put it in the volumetric flask. We're at 0.093. That's getting closer, so we have to do it again. Slide it on over the metal rod. Twist until it finds its grooves and locks into place. And then we will pinch on the black thing here, and we are going to twist counterclockwise to increase the volume. Alright, we'll try this one. Put the cap back on. Okay, so that's at 0.098 grams. So that's really close to what we want. So we have to do it one more time just to get it within a good range. Pinch on the black here. Turn just slightly counterclockwise. And hopefully this will get us to our desired amount. Try that again. .099. So what we can do is we can put our top back on. Try it one more time. Just give it a little twist here. Put the cap back on. .099 again. Try that one more time. Alright, as you can see, it's a lot of just trial and error, and it's a lot of tedious work, especially when you have a million pipettes, but it does save Concordia a lot of money, as I did look up online that it does take, or it costs $27 for one pipette to be professionally calibrated. So it does save us some money to do it, to have the lab assistants do it as well. So just keep doing some trial and error until it finally works. Alright, so we have 0.100 grams, which is ideally what we want. So we're going to just test it a few more times just to make sure that our results are repeatable. .101 grams, which is within a good range. Perfect. So our average there from our last 3 trials was 0.100, which is exactly what we want. So this pipette can now be considered calibrated. And I did type up an SOP, so a standard operating procedure, on the specific values in the ranges that are perfectly okay within statistical standard deviation for each pipette. And this was a how-to video on how to calibrate pipettes. Thanks for watching.